Okay. All right. Hey, everybody. This is Sandra. And for those of y'all that maybe don't know me, Tiffany, I'm not sure if I know you very well yet, but can't wait to get to know you. I live in Lebanon, Ohio. I am a native Texan, so that's why I sound a little different, but, and I don't sound like I'm from Ohio, but I am super excited about the opportunity to get power planning going for us tonight. Last week on power planning, we took a look at our whole month of November, and we jotted in where auto ships are and things like that. And I don't know about y'all, but with the addition of these 2 new auto ship dates, I feel like I'm constantly checking who are my customers that have auto ships going out. And last Sunday, when we checked our auto ships, which I don't do it just once a week, I can guarantee you that, it did not show me in my cloud if there was anyone for the 10th until after the 5th had already processed. And so I looked in my cloud a couple of days ago, and I'm like, well, holy moly, there's an auto ship for the 10th. But they're not my personal, so I don't know where they fall in. And so that's where, you may not be able to see necessarily who the auto ship is under, especially if it's like one of your promoters customers. We used to be able to see those, and we can't really see those anymore, or at least I can't. But so I don't know where that's coming from, but just a heads up, we've got 2 more days until that auto ship comes out. And this is something that we've talked about before. I know we've talked about it here. We've talked about it in Dream Team and other places and so forth. Those thank you notes, they're super, super important. I know that all of us order from other companies and try to help other people out with their small businesses and so forth. And just recently did a very nice order for someone. And if I had placed that kind of an order of a Thrive order, I would definitely have already sent them a thank you note. But yeah, so still waiting over here. But anywho, those thank you notes are super, super important. And I know my daughters laugh at me about that, but my mama raised me right. So anyway, we've got the auto ship coming out on the 10th. And then usually by the end of this week, you're going to be, probably by the 12th, you're going to be wanting to check who do you have an auto ship for on the 15th. I can't believe we're already the first week into November. Today it was like 80 degrees, wearing tanks. Ainsley was getting snow last Sunday. And so here we are already a week into it. And I'm looking and I'm like, wow. I have a huge goal that I have set for myself for this week. Now, if I put my blinders on, now keep in mind, I'm going to have Grant for 2 days. So I've got my blinders on and I'm not stopping until I achieve this goal. I need you guys to cheer me on from the sidelines and go, Sandra, I know you can do it. And you know what? We are cheering each and every one of y'all on during this whole week for whatever your goal is that you've got. I was listening to something, well, I'll get into that just a little bit about Steve Harvey. But anyway, so take a look at the beginning of your calendar for the week. Everybody has something that they do different. You may have a notebook like Tammy and I do, where we write everything on these pages and so forth. You may have your IMs that you write at the beginning of the week, and you read those IMs every single day. You may rewrite them. Or, there may be something that you do just a little bit different. And I'm going to be honest, I feel kind of stupid standing in front of my mirror going, I am, but you know what? I read them. Now, I mentioned this app, and I think it was in Dream Team, Tammy. I don't think I mentioned it on Power Planning, but how many of you're going through your day and somebody digs at you, just a little dig, and that dig just festers like an earworm. And it gets in your head, and that little dig that somebody made at you all of a sudden has festered into this huge earworm that has gotten you onto this whole thing of, oh my gosh, well then this must be this, and this must be this, and da 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 da. One little teeny tiny dig totally got you completely off track. I'm here to save the day. Okay. So I found an app. Of course, it was one of those advertised to me on Facebook, and it's simply called I Am. It is the coolest app. Of course, it's one of those you can get freebies. You can pay for stuff. I don't pay for squat. And so I've only got the little freebie options. But y'all, you can set up as many IMs to ding through your phone as you want during the day. And I think I have mine. I think I have it set up for like self-care. Let me see what my categories are. Self-care, health and well-being, and that kind of thing. So I have 14 of these IMs that go off on the hour from 7 a.m. until 11 p.m. So you can set your time frame that you want. And I was telling Tammy the other day, I said, I swear it's like they know what my brain has thought, because then they'll send me an IM and I'm like, oh my gosh. But y'all, it totally, because I'm the biggest squirrel, it totally gets me back into that total mindset, you know, that we're here to help others. We're here as thrivers. And if you don't have that app downloaded yet, I mean, y'all go get it. It will be the best thing for your day as you're going through. We're getting ready to get into those massive gray days of winter, and we're going to need all the positives going into our head that we can get that in our Black Label. So first thing I want you to do is get that app. All right. Second thing I want you to do, and I happened to do this the other day because I had some extra time. Taking a look at your week ahead. Oh gosh, I'm like 2 weeks ahead here. Hang on, I got to find it in my book. Go into your Cloud Office, see what your volume is right now. So go in there. A lot of times I'll have already done this before we get onto our Zoom, but we're going to check rate of run. And rate of run is something that, I don't know, probably in the last, 6 months, Tammy, we've started checking is our rate of run, and the difference that it makes is phenomenal. So take a look at the number that you've got as your QV for right now. You're going to divide that number by 8, because today is the 8th of November. The number that you come up with after you've taken your QV and you've divided it by 8, multiply it by 30. Yeah, I had to look. We've only got 30 days in November. I never can remember. I'll just know December's got 31. So multiply it by 30. That should be your rate of run. Last week on Planning Zoom, I wrote at the end of each week what I wanted to be at. And I'm falling way, 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 way short of where I really and truly want to be. So I got to get laser focused. I have a definite goal by the 15th. I know how much I would need, but I don't think of it as how much I need. I think of it as who can I help? Who can I help? Who can I help? So that rate of run is either going to go, okay, hey, we're doing pretty good, but let's keep plowing through, or that rate of run is going to light a fire underneath your behind, and you're just going to keep going, go the distance. Don't let a lower rate of run than what you've got derail you from where you are headed and the people that you are supposed to help. Okay. So we got rate of run taken care of. Then take a look at your week. I want you to go into your Facebook. A lot of you may have already done this. And, you know, like Tammy said last week, you're missing the boat if you don't do birthdays. Somebody said it last week. We've heard it over and over. You're missing the boat if you don't do birthdays. Wishing somebody a happy birthday, because you know that when it's your birthday, you love having those 200 whatever notifications that somebody has wished you a happy birthday. But I loved what Tammy said last week about you can just do happy birthday. But you know what? If you just do happy birthday, there's nothing that's going to set you apart from what anybody else has written. And so kind of change it up. What's that initial, you know, happy birthday message? It's your birthday or something like that. Celebrate it's your birthday, however you want to, but it definitely does make a difference. And then always end with the question, what are you going to do today to celebrate your special day? And I've had people answer me this week, and I've had a ton of birthdays. Now, this is where you can go into your messenger and you can later on wish them a special happy birthday. And this is where Susan has shared her verbiage all over the place about what she uses to wish someone a happy birthday, and that she likes to send them a special Thrive birthday pack. What's their mail? What's their address, so that she can get it sent in the mail? And you either get people answering, great, yeah, I want it. You may get crickets, but they may come back. I had 3 people I offered packets to the other day, just on one day. There's one lady that I just know in my heart of hearts that Thrive would make such a huge difference for her. She has seen it. She has not answered, but I'm not losing out hope yet. Just because she's seen it, didn't answer, doesn't mean she's not interested. So make sure that you take a look. And if you're writing down your birthdays for tomorrow, go ahead and write them down for Tuesday, for Wednesday, for the whole rest of the week. And if you plan your weeks out kind of like I do, then you can just go ahead and keep writing all the birthdays for the next couple of weeks. That's what I did. So I don't have to write birthdays down until the week of Thanksgiving. So that's nice to already have that. And let me tell you, I got like 8 to 10 people that are having birthdays. I mean, what was going on 9 months before this? Was it wintertime still or something? I don't know, but I got a bunch of people with birthdays. Okay. All right, let me find my little scratch piece of paper here real quick. So we've got that going on for the month, the I ams. And then, so I have an opportunity for something, and I'm going to put my big girl panties on. I'm going to go out on a massive limb. And sometimes it does take that. It takes going out on a massive limb and stepping way, way, way outside your comfort zone. Now, me getting to be an elf next month is not stepping outside my comfort zone. I cannot wait to be an elf next month, but there's something else. Okay. So sometimes you have to step really far outside your comfort zone, and you have to ask yourself, what is the fear? What's the fear that's holding me back? And I'm going to direct y'all to something from my favorite, Steve Harvey. Okay. And it is about success and being a leader. And he says in here,
want to know the secret to more?
Oh, sorry, commercial going on there. He said that when there's 2 babies born in the hospital, one of those babies is going to grow up and get a job. The other baby is going to grow up and be the person who gives that other person the job. Which one are you going to be? He said the person who gets hired may have the qualities to be even more than they could be, but they're afraid to take a step further than what they feel like they are meant to be. The leader, the one who offers the job, he's not afraid of anything. Which one do you want to be? Do you want to be the person who offers someone a job, or do you want to be the one who's just taking the job? I was like, wow, that was pretty potent for me. But he also talked about what is it that holds people back from being the leader that they want to be. Okay, number one, we know what it is. It's that 4-letter word, fear. All right. And he said, which part of it is the fear? Is it the fear that you'll be successful? Well, we've heard that. And the first time I heard that, I thought, well, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I ain't afraid to be successful. But are we really? What happens if we're successful? That means we're going to get busier, possibly. We're going to have to step way outside. Yes, I know we're going to have to deal with team members and deal with stuff that is just crazy, but you know what? That's why you're a leader, because God has given you the skills and the skill set in order to handle all those situations that may come along. So don't be afraid to be the baby that grew up and offer someone else a job. Okay. So that Steve Harvey episode, if you want to watch it, is called Be a Leader. It's under Motivational Talks on YouTube with Steve Harvey. And it is just, if you don't listen to Steve Harvey in the morning, then you're missing the boat, because he will totally get you jump started in the morning with that positive mindset. And heading on to positive mindset for your day. Okay, we've talked about our I ams that we're going to do daily, this every single day. We've got the I am app that you can download. This is a book that I mentioned before. I don't know if I've mentioned it here or over in our team Zooms, but it looks like a novel. It's not necessarily a novel per se. It does have a storyline to it, but there's so much more to it than that, by Andy Andrews, and it's called The Bottom of the Pool. And I know that there's a lot of times that we're thinking, okay, I can't get a customer. This lady, I need to help her thrive. She wants to thrive. She messaged me asking me about Thrive. I've given her this. And then I've sent her all what the promos that are coming from Lavelle. And then I get a message from the day after, oh, is it too late? Okay, those are the moments that you feel like I may be at the bottom of the pool. I can't seem to get through to, this lady or whatever. But we have to think beyond our boundaries. that goes into that whole thing about fear from Steve Harvey. Okay, Tammy says, what was the name of the author? Oops, hang on, I got to clear out these stupid things on my later. It's Andy Andrews. The subtitle says, Thinking Beyond Your Boundaries to Achieve Extraordinary Results. And one of the things that I'm stepping way outside of my comfort zone and jumping off a massive limb. This is a book that I have to finish reading. I don't want to say have to, but that I'm going to finish reading. And it goes underneath that whole adage of each one teach one. So I not only finish this book, but then I teach others about this book and so forth, and share the positive statements and the powerful statements that come from this. If you have not checked your library for this book and you're looking for something that's just a little different to read, maybe you've already read GoPro, you've read How to Win Friends and Influence People, or listen to it. And that really, I mean, when Paul kept recommending that book, I was like, Dale Carnegie is like so old. Why would we listen to that book? But you know what, y'all? It really will change how you answer people, whether it's by a verbal message or how you text someone. It totally can change, Win Friends and How to Influence People totally changed how I responded and answered to folks, because I'm pretty blunt, and it really kind of helped me to not be quite so blunt sometimes. But so if you're looking for something different, this is a fabulous book. And then of course, the little guy that writes, John Maxwell, he's got all those little short little books that you can get off of Amazon about leadership and so forth. And if that's kind of where you feel like maybe that's an area that you need to build up and become your strength, because when we have weaknesses and we have strengths, we always tend to focus on our strengths, don't we? Okay. Your strength may be relationships. Your strength may be thank you notes, but you have this little weakness over here possibly, or something that maybe you don't feel quite as strong with. So what do we tend to do with that one? Oh, we ignore that one because that one's not a strong suit for us. But the more that you dive into what this is and you learn more about yourself and what this component is that maybe you need to add to your repertoire, oh my gosh, look at how much more powerful you're going to be. Okay, now enough of my little preaching right there, but I was thinking about November. What's something different that we can do for the month of November that maybe we haven't done before? Yes, we do thank you notes. Yes, we get in our cloud office and we are constantly messaging and just checking in with the people that have customer accounts in our cloud office, free accounts. They've never ordered. So for those of us, Lindsay's been in here for like 6.5, almost 7 years, or 7 years. She's got a ton of customers in there, but that doesn't mean every single one of those customers has ever ordered with her. But has she dropped the ball and left them in the dust? No, she still is emailing them or messaging them on Facebook. Hope you're having a great day. But she makes it sound like her, and she's not just fishing. Okay, so what you can do this November that's going to set you apart. I did this last November, and I remembered I started off and I sent it to one of my customers, and then I blind copied a bunch. Well, somehow I think I messed up the blind copy, because one of my friends said, why did you blind copy me on this? And I said, oh, well, I was trying to send it to a lot of people, and I didn't want everybody's email addresses to show. And I was like going, oh, what did I do wrong? But guess what I did? I shared one of our favorite family Thanksgiving recipes with every single one of my customer accounts. I went in and shared it with a ton of my friends on Facebook. And I said, you can say whatever you want to, but I think the gist of it was, the holidays are coming up. I thought I would just share one of our family favorite recipes with you. I always thought that this was hard to make and it's super easy. And I'll tell you what it is, but it's my mother-in-law's homemade pecan pie. I used to think pecan pie was hard. It is not hard to make. And I shared this recipe with everybody and their dog. So this year, I'm going to be sharing a different recipe and say, hey, it's Thanksgiving time again, ready to start baking or not? Maybe they're the kind who get their Thanksgiving dinner from Kroger or whatever. But I'm going to share another Thanksgiving recipe and, go from there. So that's something that you can do. You can start now. because you may have a crap ton of people you want to send this to. And if you sat down, it could take you all day long to do it. But choose a recipe that's super meaningful to you, not something that you just copied off of Pinterest, something that's a tried and true family recipe, or something that's just that brings back good memories for you. And share that. You can even ask them, say, hey, if you've got a recipe that you would love to share with me, bring it on. I would love, I'm looking for different recipes all the time, something like that. That's something that you're just doing in addition to, and those are reach outs, y'all. We used to think that at the beginning, reach outs had to be about Thrive. They don't have to be about Thrive. They're just about life and checking in on folks. I had a lady that I've been messaging just to check and see how she's doing, and she always circles around and never says anything about herself. And I called her on the carpet yesterday and I said, sister, I want to know how you are doing. I said, you told me about everything else. Now, you can't do that unless it's somebody that you know really, really well, and they're like trying to blow sunshine and push having to talk about themselves. But that's when you just say, I want to know about you. How are you really doing? We're in November of this crazy, insane year. I want you to also take a look at what word, how at the beginning of the year, we choose a word that is going to be our word for the year. I looked recently at what my word was that I had chosen, and I thought it was almost kind of a laugh, but yet it wasn't, because despite what 2020 has brought on, this word has happened because we are all still sitting here. My word for the year was flourish. And part of the definition for the word flourish is to thrive. And we're flourishing because we are all business owners. We're still here. We're still helping people. We still are thriving. We're thriving for free. That means we have at least 2 people that we're helping. So even though 2020 has brought on some craziness this year, is the word flourish still a good word for me this year? Yes. Did I flourish as far as I thought I might get? Possibly not, but that doesn't mean this year's over. It ain't over till the fat lady sings here. Let me tell you, I still got 8 weeks, 9 weeks, something like that. Tammy, I remember that, ceaseless. Who knew how ceaseless I would need to be? Exactly. So I kind of want you to, this is going to get a little deep. I'm not trying to get in muddy waters here, but take a look at what your word was for the year and see if, despite of everything that has happened, you were still able to do that. I guarantee you probably were. And it gets you to thinking about what your word will be for the new year. I know that December's around the corner, the holidays are coming, and you think, I don't want to think about December because we're still in November, Sandra. We're planning November. But you know what? You not only do you have to be here, but you have to be a little bit ahead. What do I need to do that's just a little further ahead? It's kind of like lesson plans. Whenever I was a teacher, I knew what I had for the whole quarter. I knew what I had to do for this week, but I also knew what was coming up in 3 weeks. Be thinking about it. What's coming up in, less than 45 days, 40 days, something like that. We got Christmas coming up. People are going to be busy. They're going to be buried. This is where you can offer with the $400 packs, if you're trying to get some volume, his and hers packs for the holidays. If there's a single mama or just a mama that needs some extra money to pay for Christmas, this is where you can totally coach them through their VIP stage. Now, you can't do it all for them, but you could totally coach them through their VIP stage. I've got one I'm going to be messaging about that because I know how badly this could help them here at Christmas time. But anyway, okay. So Rate of Run, the I Am app, the book by Andy Andrews, The Bottom of the Pool, a special recipe that you might want to share with someone, your friends and so forth for Thanksgiving for November. That's above and beyond thank you notes. That's not necessarily instead of thank you notes. That's kind of an above and beyond thing. Thank you notes should always be a given. And especially, think about the companies that you've bought product from and the person never sent you a thank you note. Yeah. You don't want to be that person. You don't want to be. And it doesn't have to be anything fancy schmancy. I guarantee you. Throwing in a couple of the pink label DFTs, whatever you've got. or just even sending somebody, I sent credits, $10, $15 in credits to some of my customers, some of my promoters even that have thrived with me. They're non-promoting promoters, but they have never stopped thriving for 4 years. I sent one a message the other day and I said, hey, I just want to thank you so much. You are still thriving with me. I know you and your husband love your Thrive. Here's credit. I put so many credits in your account as a thank you, and just hope that you guys have a great week. She was like, oh my gosh, thank you. But it lets those non-promoting promoters know, hey, I appreciate you. I know that, I mean, we know that we don't necessarily get, the benefits of being able to help them help someone else thrive and so forth, but they're still important folks in your cloud, and we don't want to leave them off. So anyway, Tammy.
Sorry, I
Anything?
was talking and I was muted. No, it's good. I've already downloaded the book. Trying to think of what recipe. I also have a ton of birthdays, and I think it was February when people
Okay.
were making the babies, I'm guessing.
I would think.
I'm trying to look at all my other notes I was taking. So no, yeah, I think auto ships is probably, the only other thing that maybe to make sure that people do tonight before the day ends is tonight is the last night for that frenzy promo. So if you have somebody, on the line that's wanting to thrive, tonight is the night that you can get them a rebate for that. And you guys don't forget, just because the company is giving a $30 rebate in credits for the 150 order, that doesn't mean that you can't also still do something to sweeten the deal. So you can match that rebate, like a cash rebate. Just make sure you're not using credits on the orders or it won't count. But yes, just sometimes you got to think outside the box on stuff like that. Like take what the company gives you and then make it even better if you need to get somebody started. So no, I am good. Thank you, Sandra. Thanks for all the tips. And like I said, I'm already over here downloading things.
Really quick on that frenzy, is there a promo? Yeah, there is a promo code frenzy. Okay.
I have to make sure they use it. And it's for first time orders only. So it has to be a newbie.
Okay. Yep. And the person finally actually answered back.
Oh, just now? Oh, okay.
Well, I just saw it because I was busy bathing Grant Man and all of that. But anyway, don't ever give up, folks. There are people that will thrive with you, and maybe they drop off for one reason or another, and they'll come back. I guarantee you they'll come back. I had a lady message me last week. She thrived with me. It's been almost 3 years since she thrived with me, and she called me and she goes, I need to get back on Thrive. So they're always watching. They're always looking to see what we're doing. And we know life is not perfect, but you know what? We can darn sure just show ourselves, show up, dress up, and always be there. So.
All right. Thank you. Thanks everybody for being on. This will be on the YouTube channel in probably about, 10, 15 minutes, however long it takes to upload. And we'll see you guys next week. Bye. Thank you, Sandra.
You're welcome.